Welcome to Living in Beauty. It's Saturday, February 24th, 2018, day 586 on the road, and we're in Disney World, Fort Wilderness. Now, we're finding it hard to believe that Disney World was never on our wish list. Florida was about recapturing memories of my happy childhood and showing Jim what a real beach looks like. There was no Disney World when I lived in Florida during the 50s and 60s, but my sister Deborah kept pushing us to go. Nah, we're all Disneyed out, I said. Disneyland opened in 1955 when Jim was 1 year old. 2 years later, he walked through those gates at least 3 times a year. The annual family trip, plus the Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts, and then the church trip, too. When our son came along, we continued the annual Disneyland pilgrimage, driving that hour and a half to Anaheim from San Diego, and then back home again in the wee hours. Now, I avoid crowds whenever possible, so Super Bowl Sunday or rainy midweek school days worked best for us. One year, it rained in Anaheim on Super Bowl Sunday, and we had Disneyland almost entirely to ourselves. We saw more employees in the park that day than visitors, and Chris rode Space Mountain at least 6 times without having to exit his front row seat. Score! Best Disneyland day ever. We'd never been to Disney World, but my sister the nurse knows me and how I am about crowds. "Sister, listen," she told me. "If you camp at Fort Wilderness midweek in February and take the little ferry to the parks, it won't be uncomfortable for you. You shouldn't miss it." Deb is my maven. She knows all the best getting places and all the best stuff and how and when to get it. Without her, I'd just be wandering aimlessly in the marketplace. So last November, while researching Disney World, this happy vision began to take hold of our rig, Beauty and the Beast, pasturing in Walt Disney's spacious Fort Wilderness. But a treat like this could blow a hole right through our average campsite per night budget. So I wished upon a star and applied for press passes, and voila, just like that, the gates of Disney World opened. And you can bet Living in Beauty got all dressed up for the ball. I owe my sis a big hug. It's day 5 in our luxurious premium campsite, and we still have 4 days of fantasy ahead. Contrary to the advice of nearly every Disney blogger out there, securing a reservation at Fort Wilderness only weeks in advance was indeed difficult, but certainly not impossible. Persistence on Jim's part to check Fort Wilderness openings several times a day did the trick. Since there's no penalty for cancellations with 5 days' notice, openings appear almost daily. Watching the Disney website closely, Jim gradually expanded a 2-day premium campsite reservation made 2 months in advance into a 9 days, 8 nights epic Disney extravaganza. Jim also wrestled up last-minute tickets to the Hoop-de-Doo musical review and Be Our Guest. Tonight we're going to Mickey's Backyard Barbecue, and tomorrow night to the free campfire sing-along and movie. Jim's also trying for tickets to the Spirit of Aloha dinner show at the Polynesian Village, and I'll bet he gets them. Now, to afford all of these unexpected delights, we had to pull out the full-time RVer's secret weapon, boondocking. On our way to Disney World, we dry camped at little to no expense in some of the most enchanting places in the land of sunshine. Journeying toward Disney World's Fort Wilderness in true American adventuring style, we slept on beaches, bunked down in forests, and discovered historic wilderness areas. Here's how we did it. Day 1, we left Lazy Days RV Resort in Tampa, which had a great dog park, and tried to get a first-come, first-served space at Edward Medard County Park, which, due to the Florida State Fair, was full. So we day camped for free at Medard and moved on to Seffner and slept there, compliments of Cracker Barrel. Day 2, we scouted out the Clearwater area and spent the night at the Cracker Barrel nearby. Day 3. We woke at 6 a.m. for breakfast at Cracker Barrel and day camped for $5 at Sand Key Beach. Just before sunset, we drove to Tar Pond Springs, where there was no camping or Cracker Barrel or Walmart parking. But thankfully, St. Ignatius of Antioch Roman Catholic Church is kind to travelers and gave us permission to overnight in their parking lot. The parking at the church felt very safe, so we secured our rig and walked a couple of blocks to a dog-friendly local pub where we crashed an amazing birthday party featuring a great live band. Day 4. Surprisingly rested, we woke early and found free all-day parking just a few blocks away in Tar Pond Springs. What do you know? Right beside Silver King Brewing Company, and spent all day Sunday touring the fascinating historic district on foot. Sunday evening, with a growler full of IPA from Silver King, we drove to Wesley Chapel and found a tranquil spot in the Cracker Barrel parking lot where there roosted a determined and beautiful sand crane. Day 5, had breakfast early at Cracker Barrel and drove 24 miles to Serenova Tract Water Management District Campground at Land O'Lakes. There was no way in a single day we could hike all 21 miles of beautiful trails in this protected, gated campground, but we did enjoy the trails throughout the day. Then at sundown, we made a big spaghetti squash dinner with turkey bolognese sauce. This is one of the most beautiful free campgrounds we've ever seen, and to think that we could have stayed for the 2-week limit. Day 6. On any normal day, it would be difficult to leave the tranquility of Serenova behind. But this was the day. We were on our way to Disney World, the grand finale of 17 weeks of airstreaming through Florida. We think Walt would be proud of our magic carpet ride to Disney World, where our whole new world meets his. Because like he said, if you can dream it, you can do it. Thanks so much for joining us at Living in Beauty. If you like this post and want to be notified when a new one is released, please enter your email address and click the follow button at the bottom of this page. Okay, that's it for now. Have a great week.